Can see a screen.
You can see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So, as I said yesterday, we are gonna work with each and every concept of what we have in Tableau and how we are gonna work and how it's connected to server and all those things. So, this training will definitely give you some real-time scenarios of your work, how it will be in office and all those things. So, till this part, when you have to get this Tableau and everything, whenever you join any company or anywhere, your team leader or your manager, they'll raise a ticket for you and they'll get that installed for you. This Tableau server and all the credentials and everything, they'll give that for you. Okay. So you need not worry about all this installation part and everything. They'll definitely give you. And Ramya, I said you right yesterday, I asked for some ID cards. So Harshita, I'm yet to get that from my brother. He works in an engineering college here. He said he'll share that with me. So once I have that, I'll give you both for you and Harshita also, I'll give you two ID cards. So what you guys
Okay.
do is yesterday I told you, right? Can download student license, Tableau student license, and you can use it for 1 year for your practice and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
second
have,
thing is, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, but I have like one small doubt. Do you have any idea how to install Tableau desktop in Mac? Because I have tried several times, but it's not happening.
So it's not supporting to you, right?
Yeah, it's not
Okay, okay,
supporting.
okay. I'll give you the instructions how to do that in Tableau Mac. Okay. I'll
Okay.
just let
Okay.
you know. You can just ping me or else I'll give you some document how to install that and I'll share you that one also. Okay, I have a
Okay.
document. I'll
Yeah.
search for that and I'll give it that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Tableau desktop, once you have like this in your system, anywhere wherever you're working, you have to connect to any source. This Tableau server, wherever you want to log in, they'll give you Tableau server credentials, the URL and everything where you can connect that. But apart from that, if you have to connect to any data source, we have this part here. So if let's say like, this is flat file, any Excel file or anything, if you have to connect, you can directly select from here and you can connect. Let me just give the highlighter, please. Okay. So this is flat file, right? If you want to connect to any Excel file which you have in your machine or anything, you can use that. But see here, there are some servers which are there. To connect all these servers and everything, you'll not get all the connectors, drivers, and all those things when you install Tableau Desktop. It may differ from one server to other server. For example, now for one of the client, we are using Snowflake. We are trying to build all the data in Snowflake. But for to build that into Snowflake, it will ask us so many drivers, so many connectors we need to install, and all those things we have to. So once you do have all those things, then only you'll be able to connect any of these things, Snowflake or any of the data and everything. Okay. So for example, let me share my screen here. Okay. This is the client which I'm working right now. Okay. And they have a separate Tableau server site where they post all the dashboards and everything. Okay. And we are trying to build the connection from Snowflake. From Snowflake, whatever data we are using here in the Snowflake, from here we are trying to connect that into Tableau server. So as of now, I just started this work. Still, nothing has started. So this will be really a good example for you guys for any of your work and everything. And whatever work I'm doing or any challenges which we are facing here, I'll definitely let you know and show you guys all those things, the server, how they access and everything. So it will be a good understanding also for you during our learning. And now
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
Is this the server? Tableau server?
Yeah, this one which I'm showing right now on the screen,
Okay. Okay.
this is Tableau server.
Okay. Okay. I'm just feeling
Okay,
you
you see,
confused. Okay.
yeah. No, you see here, this is one view which they have created. And again, like, on the sales ops, like, they'll have a lot of other dashboards and everything which have been published here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is internal inside the Tableau server. Okay, when we go into Tableau server where we are publishing, all these options use it. There are lot of other options. I need some admin access to get all the options and everything. So I'm just still working on to get all those things done. So once I have the full-fledged server access and all those things, I'll show you clearly on the Tableau server side. Okay. So for now, let's focus on Tableau desktop.
Mhm.
So anything, whatever you are connecting here to the server, you need to have proper connectors and proper drivers to be installed in your machine. Can't have all the drivers and all the connectors, right? You know, now as of now, if I say if I'm connecting to some SQL server, if I just go and click SQL server which I want to connect, it'll ask me for my server name, database, authentication, and all those things. So I already have SQL server in my machine, so the server name is there, and database it's optional, or else I can mention the database which I want to connect and whatever authentication. If it is a SQL Server username and password, or else Windows authentication, you can select that and then click on sign. If you're connecting to any server, this is how the look looks like. Now, where you have to give the server name, where you have to give the database name and the credentials. So once you do that, you come to Tableau Desktop, the data source page. So in data source page, you see here the connection. This is connected to SQL Server. Okay. So now if I just go down here, I want to select any database which I have in this SQL Server. So I'll just go and click on any of the database which I've created for some training previously. I'll just select that database where I have the data or something like that. I'll just click on that one. So initially, when you're loading any of your data or any of the kind of server part and everything, it will take some time. But always, I told you, right, there are two types of connections in Tableau, live and extract. So live is where your Tableau desktop is directly connected to your data source. The data source, what is our data source here now? Our data source is SQL Server. So SQL Server will be directly connected to our Tableau desktop when we are in live connection. But always make sure whenever you are working on any kind of data set, any kind of server or anything, try to be on extract mode. It's taking so long. It's a small data set. Guys, one second. Let me just connect to my Wi-Fi. It's not connected. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. See, I've connected to this server and the database what I have, and I have some tables in this database which I have created. Orders, people, returns, test one, and some custom SQL, a new union, table extension, all those options. Okay. So this is where our work starts. Now, if I want to connect any additional data source into my Tableau, or if I want to do that, I can go ahead, click on that. Now I want to connect any Excel. I can do that. Any multiple sources, whatever you want to connect to Tableau environment, or if you want to do that, you can easily do that from this part. It may be an Excel file, or it can be any of the other data sets, whatever you are using, any kind of thing you can connect. Just with the other data set is system.
I have a quick question here.
Yeah.
Example, if I got connected to the SQL Server as a live and the export,
Mhm.
I mean export to the extract from the Excel sheet, will that connection will happen live plus extract?
Yes, it will be an extract connection. I'll show you how the extract will
No,
be.
the
Both will be.
combination, like a live plus one source would be the live, one source would be the extract. So I need
Um,
to put any, relation. Is Tableau support to the live plus extract two sources at
no,
a
no,
time?
it won't happen like that. Live plus extract. You just have to view on live or either an extract on the complete data source because this is one single workbook which you're working right now. Okay. So whatever workbook, this entire workbook, whenever you do on live or extract, you have some file format in Tableau also. That Tableau will save the workbook in a file format .twbx, .twb, .td. There are some file formats what we'll do. Whenever you have this workbook which is there right now. Now let me show you. I'm just taking this order table here onto the screen. Now I have live and extract here. Okay. I'll just go and save this file. Okay. It's asking .twb. I'm just giving test1. I'm just saving on my desktop here. So now if I do this saving part on my desktop, the file will be saved here. See here how it is done. It is just without any icon or anything. And the file format is .twb, Tableau workbook. I just give a right click on that and show you the properties. It will be .twb. Okay,
Mhm.
it's Tableau workbook. It's in live connection. Now the same one, what I do is I go and extract. Okay. Now extract will contain all data. Whatever data is there till now, it will be containing all those things. I'll just go give save as. Now here, if you see, it'll ask me whether I want to take that into Tableau extract format. So when I do that and click save on, it'll ask for an option, create an extract. So now what happens is till this particular time, whatever time we are working on, that entire data will be uploaded into our Tableau workbook. So all those dashboards, what you're seeing in Tableau Public or anywhere, right? Those are all will be an extract workbooks on it, where you can download and you can see the data and all those things. On some workbooks, they'll give, see here, extract contains all data till 9:53:27. Now, if I go and save this file, I'll just do it on desktop, save. I'll just go and save that. See this, there is a band kind of thing here.
Hmm.
Yeah. So this is extract file. So where you'll have a data copy, the visuals, the work and everything. But this one, if I'm sharing that with you, if I'm, see now I have done some work on this and I'll share this workbook to Ramya. Now, when you open that, what Tableau says is, can you give me connection to the data source which you have connected on this? But you'll not have the data. The file is with me only. I'm not sharing that original file, the data source file. I'm just sending you only TWB format file. But when you open it from your end, it'll ask me for the
I
credentials.
got
It'll
you.
ask me for the, yeah,
I got you.
yeah. And this one, when I give you this file, you can open, you can start working because the data is already in the workbook. It's an extract of that. Okay. Now, once you have this live and connection, there is something called, I told you right yesterday, filters. In Tableau, filters is very important. We have extract filters, data source filters, context filters, dimension filters, measure filters. There are a lot of filters. What? So here, the data what I have extracted here. If I want to extract the data, if I want to filter out on that one, see here you have all those options. What I want to filter out on this data. See, if you have huge data and you don't want to take all the columns into your data set, onto your work when you're going to sheets and everything, you don't want all the columns and everything, and you want to restrict any data. So you can directly come down here, give an add filter, and which column you want to restrict that. Now, if I go to ship mode, there are four types of ship modes which are there. Now, my requirement says we need to do our analysis and everything only on two or three ship modes, and you say our analysis, our requirement completely is based on only one first class ship mode only. Then what is the use of taking all these things? So we can just go with first class, click OK. And once we do that, save settings, the data will be extracted only for first class. When you go to sheet here, if I keep shift mode here, I see only data which is related to first class. All the sales and everything will show up only for first class for me. It will not show any other thing. Whatever categories I'm dropping here, whatever based on any category on anything, whatever I'm seeing, it's all based on first class only.
But you have
If
applied
in,
but you have applied the filter on only the ship mode because of the relations it got filter for all the tables?
no, I've selected on ship mode. If you go down here, edit, I've selected what I have selected, that only will come for me.
Ship mode is here is the table, correct? Here?
No, ship mode is a column in the one of the table called orders. Order is a table.
Okay, okay, okay,
People
okay.
is a table. Returns is a table.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let me
Yeah, I'm
just edit.
good.
See here in the orders table for ship mode, I'm editing the data. I'm removing some rows and everything.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm just, so wherever I apply, I can do it. Or else if I want to select all, click OK. Or else I can delete this filter. Now if I just cancel it, sorry, let me just save it. Go back to edit. Delete this filter. No filters applied. Save settings. Now if I just go back again to my sheet, see, I can see all the shipments. So you can restrict the data at the data source level by using extract filters or also data source filters. This filter on this corner is called data source filter, and this is called extract filter. So here, if I just go down, click, it's same like what we are going to do on that one. Same way, I can select any of these things, apply whatever I want. I can select all those values and everything. And same way, click OK. Then that will be applied onto data source filter. So we have extract filter, data source filter, where you can restrict your data, which you are taking into your work. Wherever you're doing any work and everything, you're restricting that. You can just do all those things from here on the data source. Now, this is one. And the second thing is, the important thing here is, we have this layer, whatever you're seeing here. This we have initially when Tableau started very initially, whenever we have done this board and everything, there is something called physical layer and logical layer. Okay. Now, if I just take this table here onto this, in the very initial days, we have joins alone in Tableau. We didn't have cardinal relation and all those things. So if I just click down here, where I want to take inner join, left join, right join, fuller outer join on based on what column and everything, we used to use only this one initially. But slowly when Tableau got changed and it started doing all those things. See, this one I'm just removing now. They have created one physical layer. When we are doing that, we are getting this option of cardinal relation. So what it does is, like cardinal relation, one to one to many, many to one, many to many. The same performance operations, whatever we are doing here. See this? Whatever relation you want to establish here and what you want to change on your data and everything, you can do that one-to-one relation. This is logical layer. Previously, it was physical layer. And how you have to move from that to here is, when you remove this and you just double click on this one, it will come to physical layer. And here, if you just drag and drop, it will give you joins, inner join, left join, right join, and outer join. And if you just want only to see a logical layer, you just close this. You just remove this one. Oh, sorry.
So nowadays, we no need to use the physical layer, correct?
No one is using physical layer nowadays. Everyone we are going with logical layer on. So we are just drag and dropping, and most of us are going with the logical layers. So we just go ahead and drag and drop, and then down you come here. You see what options you want to give. Now first, to understand that, you need to know what data is there between tables and how the data is there, on which column it is mapped, how much of data is there, which table is main, which is a fact table, which is a dimension table. All those things you have to do your data grooming session properly. Just whenever you're working on any of the data, you have to ensure you do the data grooming session properly so that you understand what is orders table, what is returns table, what is people table, what kind of columns you have over there. All those things you have to understand. So make sure remember this point. You without understanding your data, you will not move an inch also forward. So now based on this, as I know the data and everything, orders table is the main table. Simple. This data is more related to like what we do in Amazon, whatever we do orders, right? So multiple orders on a single order ID, I place multiple orders to multiple categories, and under that multiple subcategories will be there on one single order. Okay. And there will be some orders which will be returned also. So these orders will be unique. And here in this table, the orders will be multiple. So what I'll do is I'll just go many to one. I'm just creating a relation because many order IDs of this table will be mapped to one return order ID which is there in this table. So that's the reason I created a cardinality between this table as many to one. If you understand, like, if you have only unique records on both the tables, you can give one to one. If you have one mapping here and many records here, you can give one to many. And if you have all the records, duplicate records, many things are there, you can go with many to many. Okay. So that way you can do all your relation and everything and joining of the data here. Now, there is something called a concept called data blending in Tableau. Okay. So data blending is something when you want to combine two different data sets into Tableau and you want to create a relation between that. That's when you do a data blending. Normally, if you want to combine same data sets, now in SQL Server, I have this one, and in Excel also I'm getting. And if I just want to combine that, I can simply do a joining of the data. But if I want to get some other different data, some Excel I just want to bring. Okay. Just another data, I'll just let me bring this Excel to the file. Okay. See here, default it's taking cross database join. Whenever we cross database join, again, very recently, they have added this. Okay. Let Tableau decide where to join, what database it's gonna join, and all those things. Recently, they have done cross database join. But if that is not there, there is something called in Tableau. Whenever we are working on, we have data blending. So now that these two, whatever we have here, this is primary data source, this is secondary data source. Because these two data sources have same tables, I'm not able to show you data blending concept. I have one more table. I'll just get that. I'll try to get where it is, and I'll try to open that to Tableau, and I'll show you what data blending is. But whenever you are trying to connect multiple tables, primary data source, secondary data source. Okay. Automatically, when you're using multiple data sources, you get this option cross database join. And when you edit here, see here clearly. Select one of them. Always perform joins in the database. Okay. Whenever if you want to move data based on the connection of this database and file size and impact and everything, you can select. But mostly we go with let Tableau decide, because that will help us to reduce the performance, increase the performance of the dashboards and everything. You can go with this directly. And you just click on OK. And these two data sources, whatever. Now what I'll do is I'll just remove this one. And from Excel file, I'll create the relation. The other table I'm taking from secondary data source. See, cross database joins can move data outside of Tableau. Make sure you are using trusted database. Yes. And I'll just go to the performance. And just
So
edit.
this will work only the same set of tables and the columns, correct?
Yeah. Cross database join will work on same set of data sets, whatever you're using, or on different data sets. But data blending works only on different data sets. And data blending happens only on different data sets. And it will be like, only left join. From secondary data set, data will be taken into primary data set. But here, You can take data from secondary to primary or primary to secondary when we are creating the relation between two tables. Even in cross database join also, we can take data from secondary to primary or primary to secondary. But in data blending, it will be mostly a left join scenario. Data will be
Mhm.
taken from secondary data source to primary data source. Okay. And
Okay.
aggregations and everything happen way before the data blending is happening. So that's the reason I want to get a different table and I'll show you that. But as of now, just see on the joins, whatever you are stating, cross database join. Whenever you have two different data sources, it will be normal joining, but two different data sources, right? One SQL Server, one Excel. So cross database join will appear here for us. And it will
Mhm.
just take the join whatever we want, and we can do that. Okay. And whatever we are seeing here and all those options and everything, data source filters, extract filters, live and extract and all those things. Whenever you just come to this part here, okay, in file, you have something called repository location. Okay. This repository location is something which is created within our system. Whenever we download Tableau into our system, once we click on that, in our PC documents, there is something called Tableau repository which will be created. See these bookmarks, connectors, data sources, extensions, map sources, services, shapes, and all those things. Everything will be saved here as a Tableau repository. And the only reason why I'm telling here is all those junk will come and save here. And you see something called shapes here. Okay. Just remember the shapes, what it is. I'll tell you when we just start on the work. Now data, we have data source. If you want to connect and if you want to refresh and all those things, data source and everything, you can do all those parts. Server, where we connect to our Tableau server and everything, I'll show that. Windows and help. These are all like basic options what you have. In help, I told you right. If you want to activate your key or if you want to do any of the product key changes and everything, you can come down to that and you can select and you can activate your key. And if you want to increase the performance and if you want to do the settings of the performance and everything, see here, there is one option, settings and performance. You have down, you have an option called start performance recording. So this start performance recording, what it does is, once we create the entire workbook, the dashboard and everything, if it is really slow and to open any visual or to open any workbook, it's taking a lot of time. So this is first step of doing a performance measurement on Tableau. You can come down here to settings and you can start performance recording. Once you start performance recording, a new workbook will open for us. New Tableau workbook will open in the backend and it will start whatever work we are doing, wherever the visual is created, how much time it's getting. And there's a list of things which will open in the backend. It will come up. I'll show you that one. So remember this option. Whenever if someone is asking, what is the basic key? How do you improve the performance of your dashboard? Two things we can say from our screen. One, we can go to settings and performance and we can start performance recording and see what exactly, where exactly how much time a query is running, how much time a visual is opening, how much time a filter is opening. We can see all the timings over there. And second thing, we can reduce the data, whatever we are connecting by using extract filters or data source filters. Instead of taking all the data into Tableau environment, we can restrict the data by using extract filters and data source filters so that it will reduce the data size what we are taking into Tableau workflow. Okay. Here there are some things which are not, which options will not come when we go to worksheet, we'll see. And second thing, there is some option called union here. When we are on server or when we are on any database, you have this option called new union. It's nothing like whenever we want to combine multiple tables. For example, think that this is Jan sales data, February sales data, March sales data. So 3 month sales data is there. When we are capturing 3 month sales data, their headers will be same, just the month on month data will be different. But instead of having into three tables, if you want to combine them into one single table, you can use this option, union. What you have to do is you can just drag and drop these tables onto that. So when I just drag and drop these tables one below the other, now that these headers and everything are not same for this, the union will not come up properly. But when you have same headers on the tables and your data is month on month, when you do that, when you click apply, it will turn into one single table for you. All the three files will be combined into one single table. This is the same kind of union what we use in SQL. Union all option we have in SQL. The same way it will help us, right? So this is some information on Tableau source. We'll come back for other things on Tableau source, but basic details, whatever you're connecting, which you have to observe whenever you're working on your data in your work and everything, connections, what worksheets you have, what relation is maintained here, what kind of connection has been established, extract filter, data source filter. You just edit and see what additional options they have created on these, all those things. And see here, hide all your unused fields and all those things. You can check all those things. Okay. So whenever you're working on, these are the basic checks, what you have to do when you're moving to your worksheet. Now, let's get into worksheet. So whenever you're going to worksheet, now we have created some relation between the data. We have done all those options and everything. We did some extract filter and all those things. Now, when we just go to worksheet, there we have lot other things which we have to remember from our. See, it's creating a let it execute. Okay. So now whatever we are seeing here, this is where we'll be working on. We create multiple sheets, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 5, and then a dashboard, and then a story. This is worksheet, dashboard, story. Nowadays, very few people look on for story, but mostly we end up with preparing a worksheet and then designing that in a dashboard. And left to the right side, you have something called show me, where you have all the options of the visuals, whatever we have. Okay, so each and every visual Tableau is so user friendly that it tells us how many dimensions down you see here, how many dimensions or measures are required to create this visual or to get this visual. Okay, directly we can get this by selecting something, but how many dimensions or measures are required, we can just see that. And all these are page shelf, filter shelf, mark shelf, column shelf, and row shelf. So this is where all we drop, drag and drop and everything. Okay. Undo, redo. By mistake, if you have done something on the work and everything, if you want to do undo, redo, you can do that. You can save. Okay. Data source, if you want to pause anything, but not required for us. New worksheet, duplicate worksheet. If you want to duplicate any worksheet, you can use all those things and all those. Here, this is called swap columns. If you want to swap your columns to rows and rows to columns, for example, category, sales. Now, if you want to swap the rows to columns and columns to rows, I can do that. It'll just swap the rows. Sorting, ascending, descending for us. Highlighter, text, fixed axis, presentation mode, and all those things. Okay. File, I told you, right? The options what we had in the page, we don't have here. Now, export as version. See, not everyone are using upgraded version of your Tableau. So someone will say, we are not using, now I'm using 2024.1. Okay. But someone might have using 2023.1 or 2. So if you have to export that to previous version or older version, or if you want to upgrade that to newer version, see here, you can do that. If your company says, okay, the workbook what client is saying is on this one, but you do that to an extent, you can do that. But again, only to this extent. Tableau has been from 10.2, 10.1, somewhere it's there, and it's now in 2024. Okay, but all the options till what extent you can do is you can see here. You can export to the previous version also. And whatever work you have done, export packaged workbook or export as PowerPoint, all this work and everything, if you want to export into PowerPoint, you can directly take that into PowerPoint. Page setup, print to PDF. You can also print the entire thing into PDF format also for you. Okay. Repository location, I told you, right? That's a repository location. I'll show you what it exactly does. Now data. See here, edit blend relation. Now you have this option, right? Previously, when you're doing that data sources, then once we do the blending over there, here you'll get that option, but we don't have still it's not highlighted. Tableau does one good thing. Whichever options are available for that work, only those will be highlighted. Other things will not help you to work and other things. Now we are on worksheet. If you want to open any worksheet or if you want to copy this image and paste it in your any of the Word document, or if you just want to copy the data which is related for this one, cross tab. Cross tab is something on this view. If I just go and click on that, if I do a duplicate as cross tab, it will just give us the data for me. The same thing, if you just go down here, copy cross tab, I can just copy and paste it in an Excel or paste it in some workbook or anything. Export. Export image, export data, export cross tab to Excel. So all these will be exported directly. For this, we have to copy. If someone is asking, you can do it. And see here, there was something like show caption down. What view we are creating. For that, we get that. And all those summary, if you want to show summary and everything, sum of sales, average, minimum amount, maximum amount, median, all those things which can calculate, you can see all those things. So if you want, you can select them, or if you don't want, you can just unselect them and you can just put it across. If by mistake, if you are not able to see, you can come to worksheet and see whatever you have and all those things. If you want to clear your worksheet, whatever you're working on, and if you just want to see any changes on all the workbook and everything, you can do that. See here, work clear sheet. So it will clear your formatting sheet and everything. If I just do that, it will be cleared form. On worksheet, clear and actions. Actions are again really important in Tableau. This is one specific topic which we had. It will take some time, I'll tell you. But remember, on any worksheet or dashboard or anywhere, here also you'll have actions. Or in story also you'll have all those things. Different options will be there. You have all these things for us to work. Analysis. This is again one important page for us, one important tab for us, where we do all our data settings, totals, percentage, okay, trend lines, each and all option. When we create some visuals, I'll show you what all options we have here. Okay. In Tableau, the best part is when you right click, you have lot and a lot of options which are there. Whenever you have something, you have so many options which you have to use. So please be careful. Every option is important and every tag is also important. Any question?
Yeah.
Someone said?
Worksheet and dashboard story, right? Worksheet like a page in a Power BI. I'm just trying to correlate and understand what is a worksheet
No.
and difference between a
Okay.
worksheet and dashboard.
Worksheet here is like, one single visual. We can create only one
Gotcha.
visual in here in Tableau.
Mhm.
But in Power BI, in the same worksheet, we can put a number of visuals there. We are directly creating a dashboard in Power BI,
Mm.
right? And
Gotcha.
what we do in Power BI, this is a page one. We put all the visuals and everything here in one single page and we make it a report. But
Mm.
here, worksheet one, worksheet two, worksheet three, we create, and then we go and decide this dashboard. In dashboards, we can see all those sheets which are preparing.
Mhm.
Now, after coming here, what I do is I just go and I'll select the size and everything. I'll just put automatic. I'll just put everything here. And once I do here, I'll just go and drop my visuals, whatever I'm creating.
How many
I'll
recommend?
just put on.
How many?
You can increase that. You can increase your dashboard. You can increase the preview of your dashboard and everything. See, there is something called range. So you can increase the width, height also you can increase. If you keep increasing the height, you'll just go a lot down and everything. You can increase the width and everywhere. You can pick whatever dashboards you want. You can just put it across the entire sheet and everything.
Gotcha.
Okay. So we'll come everything. There are a lot of options which are there. So we'll come one by one. Don't worry on that. So dashboard comes once we have all the visuals done in our sheets. Then we will go for dashboard. Okay.
Gotcha.
Fine. So on these tabs, we have analysis like map, formatting, where we have these lines and everything. Okay. Again, server window help, the same basic concepts. Now, main thing is here you have mark shelf, color, size, text, detail, tooltip. And there is something called like, whatever options you have for the visual, you can select from here. Now, my requirement comes in here, and someone is asking me to prepare some dashboard based on some requirement, whatever they do. So I'll start doing. First, I'll go with some category, and they're asking me to put some sales, and also they ask me for some subcategory. They want to sort it down, ascending or descending. Now, based on this, if I want to put on some colors to them, I'll just go and drag and drop category into colors. So category wise, I can show these colors and everything. Now, in case if you want to do that subcategory also onto colors, you can just go and put on subcategory also onto colors. So each and everything will take different color. Okay. So see here, whenever I drop, category is gone, but subcategory is coming up. If I put again category, two things I can't put at a time here on this one. Now size, I just go decrease the size or increase the size of the bars. I can do that. Labels, if you want to show mark labels, yes, I can show that. And text, if I just click on these three dots, whatever is there on the top here, right? Just want to increase, we decrease it, make it bold, just make it dark. And now see this alignment here. If I want horizontal left side or middle, I just want to turn these these things inside upside onto the top, or if you want put them down or middle or on the top, wherever I want, we can do that from alignment. Okay. On the labels, these options are when we are using that on all this work and everything, you can use that. And this is like, allow labels overlap. If you have some labels which are there overlapped, and if you want to highlight any particular values and everything, if you want to show all those values, you can show all those values, whatever you have on the visuals. Detail and tooltip. If you want to show anything additionally on the view, and if you want to drop that, for example, ship mode, I'll put it on tooltip. So now if I just go on that, see there, whenever I just click on this, on the ship mode, whatever I have, see here, there are ship mode, attribute, and all those things which are coming up for me. And I don't want to use that way. So I can directly select what fields I want to show up here. And I can add some name also onto this one. So now I have category here, right? I have some sales which I'm showing up here. But sales, I want to put like, on some of sales, I want to put some rupees onto that. Click OK. So all those options, whatever we are putting that onto views, it won't directly apply on these things. We have to make sure we give the exact what detail we have to put in here, which applies over there exactly. All those things we have to properly see and put in. See now whatever I'm adding here, it won't come up onto the tooltip and everything. But whenever you're doing that, make sure which option applies for us and which doesn't apply on the data and everything. If you have a huge data value, if you have a lengthy words and everything, all those things should be properly seen, and then you should put all those things in the mark shelf. And this is column shelf and row shelf. Whatever you are putting, you can put it here, and you can see that. Now, when it comes to show me, now you see here, every particular visual has different options and everything. Now, this, whatever I have created, I can turn that into some text table. I can turn that into heat map, highlight table, any bar chart, or like tree map, bubbles, and everywhere. We just put it onto this one. See here on the view, fit width, or else I just want to put the entire view. I can put it on entire view. I just want to fit height. I can just do that. Or else I just want to put standard. I can do that. And if I just want to move particularly these values and everything, I can adjust accordingly based on whatever values I have here. I can adjust this state. This adjustment we can do manually wherever we want, on which tables and how much adjustment we want to make, we can do that. Now, all those values and everything, whatever we have, we can see each and every. If I select on all those, you can do the selection based on what you are selecting, whatever visual is there. We sometimes see now if I'm just doing this, Is this the right visual? No, this will not apply for us. So this one, okay, it looks little better. So you can select any kind of visual from all these things. Now, once you are done with all such kind of views based on your requirement and all those things, you can go ahead and prepare your dashboard. See now what I have created here, that is coming up to me here. You can just go to sheet, or you can have more options here. You can fit it like, entire view. I can just put that onto the screen. You can adjust all those things based on the values and everything like this on the dashboard, and you can publish. Any questions still? Very basic on the highlight I have told you guys, just to give you an
No.
overview of what we'll be doing. Okay. So what I'll continue in our coming classes is I'll just go by step whatever we have, what filters would be there, what are like dual axis is, how to create a dual axis, how to use filters, how to use actions, how to create sets, how to create groups, what are LODs, date functions. When we use a date column onto our date, whenever we use any date column onto our view, there are a lot of other options which comes up here. Date hierarchy will be there, and what kind of dates we can select here. The exact date is there. How we can format date things. How to create a duplex dual axis, and how to create new. Because if you see here from pie chart, I told you right. If you want to create some additional visuals, custom visuals, and everything, we can create custom visuals from the visuals what we have here. From pie chart, if you have to create a donut chart, we have to create some additional record. How we can create a calculated fee, how we create a parameters, and how we can use parameters into it. So one by one topic, I'll just take you. Sometimes, if you understand the topic, you can let me know so that I'll just push forward myself and I'll just give you more additional. If you need more details, you can also ask me more information. But if you need less information, okay, this is done, Raja, we can skip this one, then I'll skip that for you.
Okay. And
Okay.
how you will share the recordings with us?
You can ask Srinivas on that. He'll definitely share all those recordings for you.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, how about I mean, you said the student key, right? Can I expect before next class so that I can also, during the
Yeah.
daytime I can just play around?
Yes, yes. So because already it's night for me here, right? So my brother said he will send me tomorrow morning. So as soon as I get that, I'll share that with Srinivas. Or else if Srinivas is there on the call, Srinivas, you are there on the call?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he's on mute. If I inform Srinivas, he can
Okay.
create a group for us, and I'll just put those IDs for you in the group. Okay. And
Yeah.
if you
And
have
also
any
the
questions,
instructions.
yes, yes, that's what I was saying. And also, if you have any questions or instructions how to download or how to use, or any doubt you have, you can put me there on that, your questions, and I'll respond on that.
Sure.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if I feel lazy to type a message, I'll send a voice recording. Okay. If it is a lengthy one,
Okay.
I'll send a voice recording, or else I'll type and send you. But
Yeah,
maximum
sure.
tomorrow by 11 or 12, I'll try to IST 11 o'clock or 12 noon. I'll send you the ID cards, and then you can use them for your team. Okay. Simple as
Okay.
is, yesterday I told to Ramya also, but again I'll tell to you also. Just go down to Google. You can see Tableau students, Tableau for students. Just go down for Tableau for students here. Get Tableau for free. So once I share you the ID card, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once I give you the ID cards, the first name and last name would be the student's name. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Email ID would be your email ID, your Gmail, or any email ID which you are using. Date of birth, if it is there on ID card, you can use the same date of birth, or else you can give your date of birth. Country or region, you can mention India or you can mention US, wherever you are. Region, school name, and all those things, because the ID card is from India, right? So you better mention all
Okay.
those details for India. Okay.
Okay.
Country, region of school, you can mention Ibrahim Patnam, something like that. School name, it will have all those details in the ID card when you're going to get. And how do you want to use
Okay.
license? Learning on loan. So once you do all these things, verify student status. If you click on verify student status, it will take you to next page where you have to upload that ID card screenshot. The image you have to
Okay.
upload there. So once you upload that,
Okay.
the email ID which you give on your name, right? So the key will come to you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Once you get that key, I told you, right, you can go to your Tableau desktop. Once you download and everything for 15 days trial, you can just go down here, click on this, activate, and you can enter the key. Okay.
Okay.
You'll get the key immediately. As soon as right now, if you just do that tomorrow morning, maybe another 15 minutes or 20 minutes max. They say 2 to 3 hours, but in max 15 to 20 minutes, you'll be getting the key.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Sure, guys,
Thank you.
then we'll meet tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Right? So what would be your
Yeah.
time?
8
My
o'clock in
time?
Indian time, right?
Yeah,
It's
Correct.
8
9:30
p.m.
for us.
IST. 9:30 for
Mm.
you guys. So
It's
8
8:30.
o'clock,
9:30 a.m. for us.
it's fine for you, both of you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
fine for me.
Okay. So then we'll meet up at 8 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay, thank
whenever
you.
I'm asking all the, you can download and try to see, play with the data source, go and check the options and everything. So please start going and seeing from now only. Okay. Once you have that key
Okay.
and everything, if you have trial version, try to do that, or else I'll help you on the trial version. But just start seeing all those things. Okay.
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 Okay. Thank
Right,
you.
guys. Then see you tomorrow. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Rajat.